Hi Gigok, I'm extremewirehead, and I just wanted to make a little reaction video to exactly what you said. And it's always interesting to see what other people think about anime, because it really is hard to find people who are also interested in the same thing. And it's very true that the main problem, I think, is you're just seen as like juvenile for going through that sort of thing, cartoonish, if you will. But then I think that all media have the same problem. And through the evolution of anime in the recent years, I think we've reached the point where I believe most of their money is actually made through Blu-rays. It doesn't come too much from Crunchyroll. It comes more on Blu-rays and how many Blu-rays you can sell, how much HD quality stuff that you can make that people will buy. And that's problematic, because that means it drives the kind of market that they're in, and it creates all these other nasty things, like how it always has to be sexy, it always has to have fan service, because that's the kind of audience you're looking for, and you want people to repeatedly buy that sort of stuff. It's less apparent in other media, and I think the main reason for that is the most important thing for other forms of media is views and the number of people who actually watch it. For them, just watching it gets them paid. And I think you can probably pick out movies specifically for that, because in movies you have to pay for each ticket, and you can do the same thing in Crunchyroll, but then that's an entirely different service. That's just this small box. It's this very small box. I consider their lineup to be very limited, and always a lot of people disagree with the kind of subs that they do, and that's a problem. And I think that if they were to combine with a bigger network, let's say Netflix, that might expand it, that might make things wider for them and create a much stronger brand. And if you can get them to realize that, hey, just because if we can get views through a web service, if we can get them people watching repeatedly on a service, then I bet you'd see a drastic change in the kind of anime that we're seeing right now. It's nice that we've got all these great things, but I don't think it's just gonna die out. I think it's more of who are those who are willing to push the envelope, and that's probably one of the things that makes video games so difficult, because a lot of people expect the same kind of experience out of it. As somebody who spends a lot of time on both video games and anime, I can tell you that there are quite a few things that make you really, really irritated about the current way that they do things, because it's a lot of these big budget titles, they aim for the same experience in every single person. They're afraid of you not getting that experience, and that's really sad, because it doesn't make it personal anymore, and that's. But then I guess that's always the problem with media and the evolution of media. In the end, I think that it starts out as a simple fan service, I would say, and it starts to branch out from there, starts to create all these things, becomes artistic, becomes a great medium, becomes some sort of amazing thing that everybody can enjoy. But at the very core of it, you can't get rid of that starting point. And even if you're gonna add all these other things, you can still find a couple of artists who are trying to push the envelope, trying to make things better. And that's where I think, even if it becomes mainstream, even if anime becomes mainstream, even if video games suddenly finally becomes mainstream, because to me it's not there just yet. And through all of that, the most important thing, I think, and I hope to God, I hope with all my heart, is that people who are really enthusiastic, people like you, people like me in video games, other people in anime, in manga, light novels, all these amazing things from Japan, all we need to do is make sure we guide them and tell them, that's not what you're seeing, that's not really what everything is. If you really want a good story, here's where you look. And that, I think that's what's important. You have to have a good audience, a understanding audience, and your audience really does need to grow up. I have to understand that. They just have to grow up. That's my opinion on the thing. I hope somebody else can expound on a lot of things. There's a lot more I wish I could say. Thanks as always for all the videos, Giguk, and I hope to see more of you in the future. In any case, I'm Extreme Wirehead, and bye. Peace.